There is no purple hero that you should ever play in a main army. The fact that purple heroes are so much worse than golden heroes might lead some people to the conclusion that the same applies to learnable skills, but that's simply wrong. In most cases, a good purple skill is a better choice than a suboptimal golden skill. In this video, I will explain which purple skills are good on what heroes. All skills from OP to B tier are good enough to be considered on main armies, at least as placeholders until you get a better golden skill. Especially in the lower tiers, I also gave some weight to skills that are better on mosquito armies. One more thing, I did not add a "should I retire XY" section to any skill, because I always recommend retiring the first copy of any purple hero. Counter is one of the most relevant buffs to the meta, as it can consistently provide meta heroes such as Pericles or Sun Tzu with damage stacks. With its golden counterpart, Desperate Counter, being hard to get, Counter-Offensive is the strongest and most played purple skill on meta armies. If I would have to place it on the golden skill tier list, it would probably be in S or A tier. You should always play Counter-Offensive on your Vanguard. The skill synergizes amazingly with Protect. Domineer is the budget version of Precision Strike. While it has the advantage of always targeting the enemy captain, if you put the skill on your center or vanguard of course, it obviously reduces much less damage than its golden counterpart. Domineer works best on an int hero in the center or vanguard position. Shattering Charge is the budget alternative to Coronation. It is a good buff skill to build on any hero with a strong combo main skill, as long as you have no other source of double attack. Reorganization is the best learnable cleanse skill in the game, as it has a higher trigger rate than Supernatural Ally and can cleanse one more hero than from the front line. It can be played on any int support hero. Fellowship is the only learnable skill that grants damage share. So even though, as an active skill, it is a little slow and inconsistent, it is a unique and great skill for certain vanguards who want to take as many damage hits as possible, such as Sejong or David, or who are in an army with heroes that want your army to be hit multiple times, such as Sun Tzu or Sondeok. Unflappable is a nice defensive skill that you can put on any int-based center or vanguard hero in a survival army, especially if that hero tends to take much damage. Making heroes immune to control is a powerful effect, so even though Balanced Fighter is a low trigger rate active skill, which makes it slow and inconsistent, I am rating it this high. It is a decent skill for any supportive center or vanguard hero. Annihilate Reserves is the only source of anti-heal in Season 1, next to William Wallace. Being a specific counter to heal heavy armies, the value of this skill varies depending on what you fight into. Fun fact, the first version of the skill would also erase all buffs of its targets, making it one of the most broken skills in the game. Recuperate is a nice buff skill to put on your vanguard on heal heavy armies. Ever Faster is the only Season 1 skill that can increase basic attack ranges, next to Casimir's main skill. It is a good skill for supportive heroes in combo armies, where the range of the damage dealer is too low to reach the enemy captain. Crushing Blow is the budget and attack version of Preemptive Strike. If you need any attack-based hero to move first so urgently that you would sacrifice a skill slot for it, this skill is the way to go. The next 4 skills are great alternatives to any golden attack damage active skill, and I would rate them all on a similar level. Military Might is a great option for your attack captain or attack-based vanguard if you miss any form of defense reduction. Battle Cry reduces enemies' defense, just as Military Might. In general, I slightly prefer Military Might because its int reduction is more versatile, considering many support skills also scale with int. All in all, both Battlecry and Military Might are fine damage and debuff skills, and should always be placed on skill position 2. Berserk has a higher damage potential than the 2 skills above, in exchange for not applying debuffs. Defeat might be the weakest of the 4 skills, as it deals the same amount of damage over a longer period of time, but it provides a debuff in form of a damage over time effect, and has double as many damage hits as the other skills, thus having a better synergy with certain heroes and skills, such as Pericles and Retaliate. Defeat is the purple version of Meteor Shot, and thus has the same conditions to thrive. First, you should only play it if you have no other source of impair on your army. Second, It should be placed on skill position 2 if the other skill on the hero is Trojan Horse, Retaliate or Arrow Storm. Otherwise, position 3 is the way to go. Even though it has a preparation round and deals all of its damage in form of a damage over time effect, I would rate Chief Slayer into A tier as the strongest int damage active skill. It should always be placed in skill position 2 due to its great int damage taken debuff. You can either play Chief Slayer on your int damage captain or on a faster int support hero. Harass is a strong pure int damage skill. Its preparation round and damage over time effect make it pretty slow though, so it should only be considered on int damage captains on survival armies. Hoppish Charge is a great int damage combo skill and the only purple skill, next to Shattering Charge, that I would recommend building on your int combo captain in a serious army. In the top of B tier, I placed the 3 attack damage combo skills that are great placeholders if you are missing good golden combo skills. Victory Charge deals a decent amount of damage for a combo skill and also provides great debuffs. It should always be placed in skill position 2. Lightning Warfare is a pure attack damage combo skill. It should always be placed in skill position 3. True Striking Blade is the purple version of Ambidexterity. I ranked it as the lowest of the 3 attack damage combo skills, because its debuff does not stack with Frederick's main skill. Outside of Freddy comms, it is a great placeholder for Ambidexterity. Fierce Attack deals less damage than the 4 attack damage active skills in A tier, but has some viability in armies that need multi-hits. Army Assembly deals decent int damage and applies int and attack reduction. It should always be placed on skill position 2 on either an int damage hero or an int support, preferably in the center. No Means Untried is a decent int damage active skill with multi-hits and a good buff and debuff. It is best to play on skill position 2 on any int damage hero. Steel Body is the budget version of Regroup, which also provides some defensive stats. It is a decent placeholder on any Vanguard, especially those that synergize with heals, such as David. Battery Recharge is the best purple pure heal skill. As an engaged skill, it is consistent and not affected by control. It can be played on any int support hero. Insult is the only purple skill that provides control. As the budget version of Smooth Talker, it also has the same downsides. It is a slow and inconsistent Vanguard active skill. Foil is a passable int damage active skill with a decent debuff. Fire Tactics is the purple version of Flaming Strike. While I would not use it on any main army, except for special Charlemagne comps maybe, this skill has a good damage potential on mosquitoes with 2 int damage heroes. Garrisoned Army is, similar to Battery Recharge, a purple version of King's Ascension. It is less consistent than Battery Recharge though, as it has a 50% chance per turn to only target one ally. I would rarely consider any purple skill that is in C tier or below for a main army. That's why I decided to weigh their value for mosquito armies higher from here on out. In mosquito armies, any damage skills have a higher value in general, because they reduce the amount of draws while drilling on low level tiles. That's why you will see skills such as 80k in C tier, even though it has rather low damage and a measly range of 3. Fierce Swing is a purple active skill version of Wrath of Faith. You can try playing it on your combo support in an attack damage combo army, but it is much weaker and more inconsistent compared to its golden counterpart. Drain is a budget City of Miracles that only triggers on basic attacks. I would only play it on Vanguard heroes with Protect or Taunt. If you want a heal skill for your Vanguard, Steel Body is a better choice. Uplift is a purple version of Preparing for Battle. It might have a relatively high heal potential, but its preparation round makes it too slow and inconsistent. Lance Tactics is a rather weak attack damage active skill. Due to its lower range of 3, I would only play it on an attack center or Vanguard. Linked Camps is an int damage skill with a high damage potential, but deals all of its damage as a damage over time effect, which is why it can't be considered in any serious combo army. Interlude is one of the worst int damage active skills. Rise Up is one of the worst int damage active skills. 80k is a weak attack damage active skill. Due to its low range of 3, I would only play it on an attack center or Vanguard. Strategy Making is the weakest int damage active skill with a rather neglectable debuff. Similar to Uplift, Emergency Treatment is a purple heal skill with a preparation round. Because its heal potential is lower and more conditional, I consider it D tier. Pursuit is the worst int damage skill. Phalanx Formation grants a decent amount of stats, but that's all it does. Forage on foes grants a decent amount of attack, and lifesteal on basic attacks. Unfortunately, this is too weak to take the place of a real attack damage combo skill, and this skill is not playable outside of attack combo armies. Rush is an abysmally weak attack damage skill that deals all of its damage as dot. Granting Fortitude would be a decent buff if it was in form of a 100% engage skill. Save Profit is a weak Vanguard skill. It should only ever be played in combination with damage share. While only providing half the stats that Phalanx Formation does, Morale Booster needs at least 3 turns for those 2 stats to stack up to the value that the D tier skill Phalanx Formation grants from the beginning. Once you know that max crit rate is 50%, you will realize that Hunt is much worse than any purple attack damage combo skill, at best. The setup you need to reach the 50% crit rate is simply not worth the outcome. This was my purple skill tier list. If you have any questions or objections, feel free to ask in the comments.